Hi, everybody. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for being here. We're going to do a short, more of like a class. I know I already put a QL video up, and that was more informational with things that we can do. This one we'll do together. It'll be short. Again, it's about the quadratus lumborum. So that's a muscle that we have on each side of our back, our lower back. It starts at the top of the pelvis and runs through the lower back and attaches to the bottom rib, the 12th rib. So oftentimes, if you have pain on one side or the other, that can be the reason. And you might have some issues with side bending that might be painful. So we're going to do some things to soften it, massage it, and to help lengthen, and then to strengthen. So, as with everything that we do, always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel appropriate, then you skip it or you change it. Do it to a way that would work for you. So, the first thing we're going to do is really activate it. So, I'm going to take a ball, and you can use any kind of ball, tennis ball. You can also use a foam roller. I can't remember which one I used in the last video that I made. So, I like to do everything on both sides. Doesn't mean you have to, I just do. So let's just start. We'll come down onto our back on a hard surface, because if you're on a bed, the ball will obviously sink into it. And so we're going to find that spot above the hip, above the pelvis. You don't want to be on the bony part, and you don't want to be on the rib either. So you're going to try and find that spot. You'll feel it might get very sensitive. And the beauty of this is you can kind of lift up your seat and control how much pressure goes on this place, right? On this area. And so you can roll around a little bit. Come to your breath, the full breath in, long breath out. Nice. And this might be as far as you want to go with this. If you feel that there might be some space to do a little bit more, you might come onto your side. So I still have it back there, but I'm not leaning directly on it by any means. And so for this, there's an option here to lift up the head. So when you're lifting up your head, I'm saying the left side would be the bad side, if you will. You're creating space, you're lengthening and lifting that rib cage. And if you want to take that even a little bit further, I'm going to bring my right foot down. You might draw the left knee in and then press it out and turn the toes in towards your right. So we're actually flossing here. And if this hurts your head, you can, of course, support your head. You don't need to keep it lifted on your own. You can have your hand there. You can have a block there. And this really nicely activates that muscle. Beautiful. And then from here, I'm just going to switch sides, keep everything kind of even. So I'm going to bring it to the right side. Again, find that soft tissue. You don't want to be on the bone. It's in a little bit towards the spine, above the hip and pelvis, below the bottom rib. And just roll around, giving it some massage here. Nice. And then once again, option if you want to take it further is to roll to your side. And first start by lifting your head. And this might be enough. Or you might lengthen the right leg this time, the bottom leg. I'm going to use my hand to keep my head lifted. Bring that right knee in. And then as you lengthen the leg, turning your toes off to the left, drawing it back in, and then turning the toes to the left. Let's do that a couple more times. Nice. Beautiful. And then from here, let's come on up. So coming up from this position, for some, it's nice to know you can roll to your side, use your hands, and slowly walk yourself up. So that's hopefully a helpful way to come on up. And so for the next movement, we're going to come into kind of the classic 90-90. And so right now I'm going to kind of face this way. So I'm speaking proper lefts and rights. So for my left leg being in the front, it's my right side that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to try and kind of press that right hip down as much as I can. Left hand is beside you to support you. So it could be on the ground, on a block, a book, whatever works for you here. And I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to reach out. So what I'm doing here, and then I'll bring it back, is I'm creating space again between the rib cage, the bottom of the rib, and the hip and pelvis. So reaching out, lengthening that muscle. And we draw it in. Let's do this about 3 more times. You might feel a deep stretch, you might not. Nice. And then if you feel like you want to take it up a notch from here, you can take that right arm and essentially start to kind of curl that right shoulder down and then bring it back up. Gets it a little bit deeper. So bringing the right side down. Now here I feel it. Do this a couple more times. And then last one. Beautiful. So we'll come to the other side, but before we do, well, let's add in some windshield wipers just because they're helpful. Hopefully they feel good. And then we'll bring our legs to the right into that 90-90 position. Kind of grounding this left back hip as best we can. Right hand is on the ground. And I'm going to reach my left arm forward and draw it back. Reaching forward and drawing back. So just notice how this side feels. I especially like to do these moves on both sides, even if only one side is more activated, has inflammation. Nice. And then if you wanted to kick it up a little bit, same idea of turning that left shoulder down, reaching out a little bit further and coming back. Take a few of these. Beautiful. From here, we'll come back to our windshield wipers again. So just letting the knees fall side to side. Nice. Just come to a comfortable seat before we come up. We're going to come up and stand, and we'll do some seated cat-cow. So a nice big inhale, the heart lifts. You might feel a little back bend in the lower spine. Exhale, rounding, chin to chest, navel to spine. Nice. And then from here, we're going to come on up. You'll stand up. So actually, I'll lift up the screen. And then let's first do the ballerina stretch. And then after that, you might want a block or a book, something really sturdy. But let's first start with stretching and opening, creating more space. So I'm going to take my right leg, cross it over my left. Let's bring the right arm up and over. And you might even have your left hand on the left hip, giving it a little bit more, a little bit extra. Beautiful, soften. Let's go back into it. Make sure you're breathing. We'll soften. Take another reach. Soften, and one more. Beautiful. Uncross the legs. Notice how this side feels, and then we'll take it to the opposite side. So crossing the left foot in front of the right. I'm going to have my right hand on my right hip, reaching my left arm up and over. I'm going to press gently. Don't take it too far. Find your edge where you're feeling that stretch. Hopefully this feels really good. And then soften and back off. We'll come back into it. Soften and back off. Take it again. And last one. Beautiful. Come back to center. Let's roll through the shoulders. You might give your hips a little bit of movement, a little circling, and reversing. Nice. And then I'm going to come to my block, and feel free to use a book or anything. And you can do this throughout your day on, if you have a staircase, staircase. So I'm going to first start on putting my left foot on the block. Feel free to have a wall or anything you'd like to hold for balance. And then my right leg is going to hang even with my left. So first we're going to start with just lifting. So I'm going to lift that right hip and lower down. So let's do a set of 5, lifting the right hip. And I'm just lowering down to where the feet are even. Breathing with each move. And after you've done 5 or so, if you feel like you can take this a little further, the next option to add on would be to drop that right foot, right leg, right hip, and then draw it all the way up so it's over the left foot. And then lowering it down without touching the ground and lifting back up. So we are strengthening the QL. Lowering down and lifting. Take one more on this side. And the benefit of this is we're getting strength in our bones and muscles on the left side. So that's a little extra credit we get. So we're going to go to the other side, right foot on your book or block, whatever you've got, starting with the feet even, lifting up the left leg and hip, and then bringing the feet to even. lifting and even. Let's do 3 more. Nice. And if that felt doable and that you can add on, we'll lower that left foot down without touching the ground, the whole hip, whole leg, and lifting up so it's above the right foot. We'll take 4 more reps of this. Nice. Beautiful. You can come off your block or book, shake out the legs, shake out the arms. And so I have one more that we can add to, and that's also strengthening. So we're coming back down to the ground. And what we're going to do essentially is walk on our butts, right? So I'm going to bring my right leg forward, my left leg up to the glute forward, walking forward. And then you might add in walking back. And they're very different. So maybe walking forward is where you want to just stop, or maybe doing both feels right for you. I'm going to walk forward again. Let's do a set of 3. So this will be 2. Walking backwards. And last one. Beautiful. And let's, as we finish this one, because I could feel this in my lower back, let's once again go right into some cat-cows. Lifting the heart, little arch in the back. Exhale, rounding. Take a couple more. Let's come to a long spine, and we'll do a side bend, reaching one arm up and over. Full breath in, long breath out, and switching sides. Beautiful. Coming back up, a little bit of circling. And reversing. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you all real soon. So take care. Be well. Bye, everybody.